Hello, it's Iino. I would like to broadcast Iino Sans Logistics Radio. Today, I would like to talk about ship fuel oil price surges to $752, approaches record high on tensions in Russia and Ukraine. The price of marine fuel oil has been rising sharply. The price of VLSFO, very low sulfur fuel oil, in the Singapore market on February 14 hit $752 per ton, up $20 from the previous day. This is approaching the all-time high recorded 2 years ago. Uncertainty over energy supply and demand due to tensions in Ukraine is pushing up oil prices. The price of low sulfur fuel oil in Singapore has already increased by over $130 compared to the beginning of this year. It is approaching the all-time high of the high $750s, which was recorded just after the start of SOx regulation in January 2020. SOx regulation is the regulation on exhaust gas from marine fuels. Until this regulation was enacted, ships used inexpensive sea fuel oil. Sea fuel oil has a high sulfur content, about 3.5%, and is also known as high sulfur sea fuel oil. Using sea fuel oil with high sulfur content will cause PM 2.5. Therefore, SOx regulations require the use of heavy oil A, low sulfur heavy oil A. Low sulfur heavy oil has a sulfur content of 0.5% and is less likely to produce PM 2.5. The low sulfur fuel oil I mentioned at the beginning of this article is like high octane fuel oil, and its price has been rising. The three Japanese shipping companies, NYK, MOL, and Kawasaki Kisen, have almost fixed the cost of bunker oil by the end of March. And the impact on their earnings this fiscal year will be limited. However, the article reports that, if the price hike of bunker oil is prolonged, it may put pressure on their earnings in the next fiscal year and beyond. Moreover, the yen is weak right now, and the Bank of Japan has decided to purchase unlimited amounts of 10-year JGBs at a yield of 0.25% in a limit operation. It makes easy for the yen to weaken and the dollar to appreciate. Since fuel is purchased in dollars, a weaker yen effectively makes fuel oil even more expensive. Therefore, I think it will affect the management of Japanese ships. The price of sea fuel oil has also risen, up $21 from the previous day, to $536 per ton. Although sea fuel oil is cheap, it is regulated and cannot be used as is. In order to use sea fuel oil, a scrubber, which is exhaust gas cleaning device, is required on the ship, which costs about $870,000. The price difference between A fuel oil and sea fuel oil is over $210 per ton, and the average price difference last year was about $120 per ton. The average price difference last year was about $120 per ton. The article said that scrubber-equipped ships that can use sea fuel oil are becoming more competitive. There are actually three types of heavy oil, which are explained in a simplified manner in this radio. High sulfur sea fuel oil, high sulfur A fuel oil, low sulfur A fuel oil. To explain briefly, both A and C fuel oil prices have risen, and in order to use the cheaper sea fuel oil, scrubbers are required. This means that shipping companies that use ships with scrubbers will have an advantage. Freight rates are currently high due to disruptions in the supply chain. However, there is also the possibility that fuel costs will rise due to disruptions in the international situation. If you are involved in trade or international logistics, I think it is good to watch the news from the perspective of the situation in Russia and Ukraine, and the impact of the weak yen. That's all for today. Thank you.